Oh, it's like the worst. This is like the worst light ever. So nice and sunny, no clouds. Worst light ever for YouTube videos anyways. So what's up guys, welcome to a failed attempt episode. Out here on my morning wildlife hike. It was a little trail near my house. And I come out here a lot for elk and coyotes and deer, all kinds of wildlife, but not too much this morning. An elk like 9 miles away over there, way too far away for this. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna do like a wildlife vlog today. That's kind of what I wanted to do, but I haven't been getting much, like nothing exciting anyways. So I figured I'd switch gears because I remembered that I also have I got a new microphone from Deity. They sent it to me, so this isn't sponsored in any way, shape, or form. They didn't even ask me to do a video or anything. They just sent it to me, asked me if I wanted to check it out. So I said sure, and I figured now's a good time to talk about that since completely failed on the wildlife front, and it's still a beautiful morning just to be outside. So let's go back to, it's in the car. Let's go back to the car and get it. Right now, I'm just for comparison, I'm using the Deity, what is that thing? The D4 Mini, the little one, you know, the little non-powered one. So we're vlogging right now, and I use this one that's on the cameras. I use that as a backup for when it was on here. I use it for when I'm filming nature, and it's a good ambient mic. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's still early in the morning. It's a good ambient mic, and I made a whole video on like how I film for wildlife and stuff. So if you want to know like how to film wildlife, or at least how I film wildlife, you can check that out. That tree has got potential. It's starting to turn colors. So it's what, mid-October right now? Sorry for the close-up. It's mid-October right now, and like the fall colors have like come and gone for most places. We haven't even started yet. That's what I love about southern New Mexico. Months after everybody else has had their fall, then we start to get ours. I think there might be some compositions back here when the light's better for that tree. All right, give me a second. Get back to the car. $30 degrees out this morning when I left. It's like almost 60 now. It's supposed to be 70 today. Gotta love those desert temperature changes. I'm about to whack my head on that. I do that so much. All right. So, oh yeah. Also, I did a quick search for this, for the new mic for the Deity, and apparently it just came out. And a lot of people seem to be comparing it to the Rode Go and the Go 2. but I don't have either one of those and never used them. So, but what I do have that's similar that I haven't seen anybody talk about is this Synco. And if you're not new to my channel, if you've seen at least a few of my videos in the past few months or so, you will have heard the audio from this because I've been using them almost exclusively, at least for my A-roll vloggy YouTubey type audio. I've been using the Syncos, and I have a pretty good feel for these guys, so I will compare them to the Deity. So I will compare them to this guy here. I think probably the Syncos are definitely the budget. They're like kind of the Chinese knockoff, thing. They're definitely like a knockoff of the Rhodes in a lot of ways. And the Deity's not a knockoff. Deity's a great company. Again, not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. But I have been using the Deity, the D4 Mini for quite a while too, and I've been really happy with that audio compared to, I used to use the Rode. I used to use a lot of the Rode microphones, especially for vlogging and YouTube type stuff. I used the Rode Video Micro, so very similar to the Deity D4 Mini, which is what you're hearing right now. So let's, rather than sit out here in the sun where it's just super bright and it's just, I can't even see, I can't even see anything. Let's go back to my house, to the studio, and we'll take a look. Actually, you know what? How about before we do that, let me put the Deities on, and you'll hear the difference for, like when I'm turning away this way and I'm digging in here looking for things like my jet boil or something, or if I'm instructing and talking about photography and I'm away from you guys, then it's harder to hear that. So that's the kind of stuff you're hearing with the on-camera shotgun style mic that's directional, pointed towards me. When I go away, that's a big difference. So let's switch to these guys. This is the Deity system, and you'll hear straight up how this sounds. And for this section, I won't do any audio cleanup or anything like that, so you'll hear, what you hear will be the natural everything. Okay, so now we've got it on the Deity, and you can see I've got it clipped to my shirt. I'm going to talk about like the pros and cons of the whole wireless versus like on-camera thing with this. But first, just wanted to give you guys just an outdoor idea. There's starting to be a little bit of a wind picking up, and this is New Mexico, and I'm going to keep talking while I get my tea, because I just realized that I have some fresh tea in here, and this will also give you guys a good idea of what it sounds like when I leave camera and make a bunch of noises. I got this this thermos recently, this tumbler, and it has like the vacuum seal thingy. So it's been, what time is it? I don't know what time it is because I don't know where my phone is. It's like probably 8:30 or 9 o'clock. I left this morning at 6:30. So I made this tea before I left at 6:30. It's 30 degrees outside. It's been sitting in the car, and it's still quite warm. It's not super, super hot, but it's still quite warm, and that is very nice. So that was my side tangent. Whoa, a fly just like hit me in the ear. That was crazy. All right, let's do a quick comparison. Since we're outdoors in the same environment, let's throw this guy on the Synco real quick and see if we can hear any obvious differences. I will say that it seems like I have heard a little bit more noise with the Syncos on average. That's not scientific by any means at all. So there's another, what is it with these bugs? Go away. Holy cow. Get out of here. It's fall now, you're supposed to be gone. All right, let me switch the audio. Okay, so now we have the Synco on, and it's roughly the same conditions, still a little breezy. It's still so bright I can't see anything, but we're keeping it outdoors for you guys so that we have that ambient environment. I can't even see, is this even visible? Can you guys even like see that? I don't think it's letting me focus on it. Whatever. All right. I think that's good enough for the ambient stuff. I will say the Synco, like calibrating the audio levels on the Synco is definitely different than in terms of like the sensitivity, the noise sensitivity. I think the Syncos are more noise sensitive. Is that what I wanted to say? All right, well, we're already sadly getting low on tea because I'm drinking it a lot. I think it's second breakfast time. I think we need to take an intermission, and I'm really liking the side light on that tree. I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna try to get some fall shots. All right, let's go back to the studio, and then I will talk more about, I'll show you the differences where we can actually see, or at least where I can see. And then that'll also give me a chance to preliminarily hear this first bit, the differences between the three, and then I'll have a little more to go by there. So let's get back to the car. Well, I'm at the car. Let's get the car back to the house. That's what I wanted to say. All right, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so back in the studio, got tea refill, second breakfast was a success. I have been looking at, or listening to, the audio, so I've edited the first part of this video already, and I'm listening to the differences. We didn't get nearly as much wind as New Mexico usually does. Seems like every other time I'm out, it's like a land hurricane. Anyways, so I haven't tested the Deities in like super windy conditions yet, like I have with the Syncos. The Syncos I can confirm with the Synco's Dead Cat, which is this thing. It works pretty well. So I'm very happy. Also, we are on the Synco right now so that we can talk about the Deity. So let's jump into it. Let me see. There's a couple of things that I wanted to go over. And just so this is the Deity D4 Mini. So that's what it looks like. And we'll get into that in a second. Okay. So let's talk about the Deity real quick and some of the differences between the Syncos. So obviously the first thing is the cases. So you have long and narrow and more squarish here. I don't know if that matters to you or not. I don't know if it matters to me either. I don't usually carry the cases anyways. I know that a lot of people, it seemed like some of the reviews that I watched were saying like about the Rode Go and stuff, is that I guess the Rode doesn't come with very many cables or accessories. And I'm happy to report that both the Synco and the Deity come with a lot of extra stuff. So this is the Synco, and the Synco comes with 3.5 to 3.5, which is the mini jack, and it comes with its own lav mic. So you can see that is its lav mic, and it has a little thingy. Oh, there it is. Come on. Aha. It has a little windscreen for its own little lav mic, and that's nice. And it's just the regular 3.5 jack. And then the Synco also came with, actually, I don't think it did. I was going to say I thought the Synco came with a TRRS cable. TRS to TRRS. So that, if you don't know, is for TRS is a regular 3.5 mil jack, and it's hard to see on here, but there's two pins. There's 1 and 2. So a TRRS has 3 pins, so, or 3 rings. So you can see, maybe you can see that, maybe you can't, but there's 3 rings there. So that's like the easiest way. I'm not going to get into what that means or anything, but basically the TRRS is for phones. So if you want to plug into a phone, then that's what you traditionally had to use. And I say traditionally because most phones these days have a USB-C and have foregone the headphone jack. So that is a bummer, that a lot of these newer devices are still not dealing with that. You're going to have to get an adapter with the Synco. So with the Deity though, this is a yellow cable, so that's definitely a Deity. The Deity came with more cables, and it's got some interesting things going on. So it came with, this is still turned on. Luckily this has a good battery life. The Deity came with a USB-C to TRRS, and it did not come with a USB-C to TRS, which is the normal headphone jack mic, 3.5 mil that you plug in your cameras. Initially, I was worried because that's what I use primarily. But then I realized that this cable that it came with, the USB-C to the TRRS, is an adaptive TRRS, and that means that it can do both, apparently, because I plug this into the Deity here and to the receiver, and then straight into the camera on this end, and it worked flawlessly. So this can also go from USB-C to an older phone if you have a phone with a headphone jack, or to your camera. And I thought that was kind of important, that it doesn't seem too many people maybe are talking about that. And then we have, they provided the regular TRS to TRRS. I already said that. That's a lot of R's and S's. And camera, smartphone, legacy smartphone, we'll say that. And then they included the USB-C to USB-C, which I thought was a nice touch for the newer phones. So if you have a newer phone, then Deity has you covered. So there's a lot of accessories there. And then another thing that Deity did was give you a charging cable. I'm not sure why that's not yellow like the rest of the stuff, but whatever. Deity also has given us a microphone, a lav mic, which is a very nice touch. This lav mic, I will say, feels a little bit better than the Synco in terms of quality. It also has a little alligator clip there, which is super nice to clip onto your clothing. And then this is a really nice touch, is this pin is lockable. So it screws in, and that is very, if you just plug this in like a normal thing, it can get pulled real easily, but that screws in, that locks in, and I can't pull that out. So that is a super nice touch if you need, that's more slightly higher end thing, and I enjoy that. And that's real good because let's transition into the next thing. Let's talk about size comparison. Hold on. Okay, I found it. So I have the Synco G2, the one that I got, comes with 2 transmitters and a receiver, which is definitely a leg up to anything out there in terms of value or bang for the buck or whatever, because then you can do your podcast style or set up 2 different interviews or whatever. So I really like that. But let's just look at, so I have this extra one here. So let's just look at the difference. You can see the Synco is definitely looks exactly like the Rode, and the Deity is a little longer and narrower. So that is weight-wise, they feel pretty close. The Deity feels a little bit lighter. When you're talking about clipping this onto a shirt like I have, I just wearing this like little wool base layer thing that's real light, and it doesn't have like a robust neck or anything. It definitely pulls down. This is the Synco that's on there right now. A couple of differences on the power and the screen. So the Synco, you have to hold it down for a minute and then it turns on. And in case of this one, it didn't turn on because I haven't charged it in forever. So the Deity have a switch right there, and that feels very satisfying to just switch that on and off. I really like that. And then you have the green light there that shows up when it's on. There's no LCD on the Deity transmitter like there is on the Synco. So that's not a huge deal to me. I don't know if that matters to you. But let's talk about ports. This is where I struggle. This is not struggle, but this is like one of the criticisms that I have for the Deity. So Deity has chosen to use USB-C, which is cool and maybe not cool, or let's talk. So here's the receiver. The Deity receiver has USB-C, and that is for going out of the receiver to your camera. But it's the only thing on there. So there's no TRS, there's no 3.5 to go from the receiver to your camera with the Deity. And that wouldn't be a big deal unless you're like me and you leave things in your bag for a really long time and they're dead, or you forget to charge them and they're dead. And then you go to use them and they're dead. So like with the Synco, since they use the 3.5, the headphone jack out for their mic out, they also use USB-C, which means I can take my power bank when I'm out in the field, and I have done this before because this has happened to me, and I can charge while I'm using the device. Is that optimal? No, but is it handy? Yes, for people like me. So the Deity, that's the only downside, is if it's dead, and you need to use it, then you're kind of SOL until you can get enough charge to use it. That is where the difference between something like this comes in, because this guy is, any of those kind are powered by the camera, so they'll never die. There's no batteries in there. That's one of the, perks of having an on-camera like the Mini or the Video Micro or something, the little shotgun mics that are powered by the camera. That's a perk versus having to deal with these where they could be dead, especially when it gets cold outside, if you're hiking in the morning or whatever, or if you left them in the car overnight or something. For whatever, just keep that in mind, that you can't charge the Deity and use it at the same time. At least I don't think you can. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But that's one of the downsides that I have for the Deity. All right, let's switch real quick. I'm going to put the Deity on now. All right, Deity is on. And like I said, I'm not going to edit any of the audio, like clean it up like I might do. When I was looking at this at the beginning of this video, which you've already heard, it definitely sounds like, just right out the gate, the Deity is maybe a little less with the high end. It seems like the Synco has maybe a slightly broader range with the highs. So one more thing that I noticed about the Deity that it doesn't have, that the Syncos do have, is on the side of the Syncos there is a
little line that goes like that little line, that's a high pass filter, and that's really great for like windy situations or anything that, you know, HVAC or anything like that. So having that and being able to put that on the Synco, it's not the best filter in the world. I'm still going to probably, if it's bad enough to need a high pass filter, like when you're out and about, then this filter probably isn't going to be enough to do it, the one that's built in, and I'm going to be cleaning that up further in post. But the fact that this does have that filter built in and you can turn that on or off is kind of nice, and that's not on the Deity. As far as I know, there's no way to do that. I haven't really, I should also admit that I haven't really read the full instructions on the Deity. I'm horrible. Everything with all of the Deity stuff that I've used, the quality just feels amazing for the price. You know, it doesn't feel like they cheaped out on anything. Their cords feel legit. Their housings feel great. The dead cats, the all of the metals that they use feel really, really good, high quality. And with stuff like this from the knockoff brands, from, you know, third-party stuff, you don't always get that. Like the Syncos, like I said, they perform great. I haven't had any problems with them, but they don't give you that happiness feeling of like super high-end quality stuff. So only time will tell how long all of this stuff will last me. I've had this guy for quite a while now, the Deity, and I mean, it's like brand new. I think that thing will last me 10 years easy. I digress. It's lunchtime. It's third tea time. I need to go feed my cat. If you have any questions about any of this stuff that I went over or didn't go over, I know that was a long review, but I'm trying to give you guys like the best of my thoughts for comparison to help you guys out. So if you have any questions about things that didn't answer that you want to know, leave those in the comments below and I will definitely answer them for you. Hit that like button if this video helped you out, because that's the best thing you can do for my channel and I super appreciate it. So I will see you in the next one, where hopefully I'm outside doing some cool stuff. Wish me better luck on my morning wildlife adventures. And then maybe I'll have something good to show you guys. All right, I'll see you in the next one.